Welcome
to the Bring Me to Life podcast.
It's time to wake up
and shine on. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Bring Me to Life podcast. Thanks for waking up and shining on with us.
And shining on, not just an episode, but the 200th episode on April 20th.
Oh, 420 episode on Tuesday. It's a Taco Tuesday. People are hyped today.
A lot of twos in this numerology.
A lot of things happening. I mean, they try to take 420 from us, so...
Bastards.
Anyway, so we hope that you are having a great day wherever you are tuning in from. Today we're celebrating just, kind of like a birthday. It's not really a birthday, but it's a celebration day. It's a number that we enjoy. Mm-hmm. And, it takes a lot of...
Bring me to life,
Bring me to life. It takes a lot of dedication and effort and a labor of love to keep podcasts going. And not only do we keep our podcast going, we've got a network of awesome podcasts. We've come a long way from just doing our own little podcast here. We've got so many other channels happening, and you can find all kinds of good stuff at bringmetolife.com.
So many awesome, unique. They're all so different too. They all have a different personality and a different vibe, and it's really amazing to be part of a community and to be part of a network and to share powerful messages, out there to help send those waves out even further.
Pad here and to continue to grow the community.
Mm-hmm. Growing the community is very important, and it's a part of our core values, so it is definitely really important, and it's nice. I enjoy planting those seeds. We have come a far way, like you said earlier, and 200 episodes. We've been watering the seeds of this podcast for a while, and we took a hiatus for a while, and it dried up a little bit, and then we came back, and it's still alive, and now it's grown even more, and excited because 200 episodes is just... I'm surprised. It took forever to get to 100 episodes. And 200 just came like a breeze.
Kind of snuck up on us.
Just like, boom.
Beautiful. Yeah, so if you're listening, you've been with us for a while, or maybe you're just tuning in for the first time, let us know some different things you would like to hear us talk about in future episodes, future seasons. We've done it a few different ways. Like Silo says, we're back to live episodes at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you'd like to join us in the chat room, there's a chat room on bringmetolife.com/podcast where you can create community, say hello there. We love seeing people pop in. And so Silo, I have some questions for you. We're going to talk about planting seeds just in general. And once upon a time, you had a seed that you planted for Bring Me to Life, and it was actually a completely different vision. And I think it's funny because often I will plant seeds thinking they're one thing and they turn into something completely different. So do you want to talk about the original vision for Bring Me to Life and how it's evolved for you?
It started in a very magical, scary way where I just kind of freaked out about everything and wanted to find a deeper connection to my spirituality and to the divine. So I ended up going across the country, doing some pretty cool things by myself, doing some hitchhiking across the country, and I filmed it and I put it on YouTube as a series, and I called it Project Bring Me to Life because I felt like I personally was really coming to life with my divine purpose. And I started painting, I started doing some writing, I started meditating, and everybody knows I love meditation. And so, it's been a long journey, and it's crazy to think how long it's been. Thinking about how I am older now and more experienced, but still young. in my mind and in my heart, and I'm meditating, so that's anti-aging. That's a scientific thing. So I feel still pretty young. I feel like as the same age my dad was. I feel and look a lot younger. He looked a lot older than I do now. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way too.
Got that Benjamin Button syndrome going on where we're aging backwards. I definitely see pictures of myself. I did a glow up post the other day, or actually might have even been earlier today, where it was like pictures of me painting from like a long time ago to now. And I feel like I looked and felt so much older then than I do now. I feel like I'm just getting started and that I've hit like a stride where I just like my body feels better than it did back then. I feel younger. I feel more alive and excited about reality, even though reality is kind of chaotic right now. So it's like, it is a wild experience. It's a really wild experience to set forth on a vision and to manifest it into your reality in a different way. So I think it's pretty cool that you set out on a mission. And So Bring Me to Life started as kind of like a documentary series and sort of a podcast. You were doing recordings on like a little recorder in your car. And now you got a studio, you've got stories to tell, you've got 200 episodes of like the official podcast under your belt. And there's a lot of cool things that have come from it all.
Yeah. I'd say before I went on that adventure, either before or after it, I did start doing recordings in my car where I had like, I think it was like $80 recorder that I got from Best Buy, and sat in my car and interviewed people on the phone and put them on speakerphone and just like held the recorder next to it and recorded all that. And I had my computer nearby, so I'd like, if I had an intro, I'd play it from the computer speaker with the recorder next to that. And it just sounded so good, you know, it was like so clean and so fresh. And it was pretty exciting doing, talks like that. It was probably after my adventure. And I don't know, it was really fun and really cool and just really nice. And one time I interviewed someone in a tree and just, just like it's the simple times, you go back and you look and you think about those simple times, and it was like no care in the world. Like I was just going to throw it wherever and not care anything about it. And it was like really relaxed, vibe.
Yeah, I remember we went through all kinds of phases with podcasts. At one point we were on video. I remember some of the early episodes we had video, and I had to like get you guys all organized. We had Nick Mount Nicky, who never wanted to wear a shirt. It became kind of a running joke. Like, Nick, can you put a shirt on? We're doing videos right now. We're like trying to be professional. And we were like, I don't know. I feel like I was like 22, 23, and we were trying to like be extra professional, but not at the same time. But we have come a long way from you using your recorder in a tree.
Yeah.
Our 50th, I think it was our 50th episode. We interviewed Drew Foria in the middle of a field, and he was wearing a lion suit and like dancing and stuff. So we've had some wild experiences here through this journey.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun episode. We interviewed him in person with our camera and got him to play a song with the mask on, and I think he had it's like one of those cheap flutes.
A harmonica?
No,
a kazoo.
Kazoo.
A kazoo. He also had a harmonica though, because he had it on this like fancy device thing around his neck, and I think he lost it there. So I'm sorry, Drew.
Yeah, but that was a really cool episode. Getting to 50, we were pumped about 50. Like we have done so many podcasts, and now we're like 200 episodes, and we're like, yeah, it's cool, it's whatever. 200 episodes. Welcome, everyone. Nothing out of the ordinary here.
Yeah, we've had episodes where we've had roundtables. We did several seasons where we just interviewed really awesome people from around the different communities. We've done
transformed a lot over the year.
I mean, and then from the podcast and the people we interviewed, we did Crystal Chalice Awards. What a wild ride that was. 3 years of Crystal Chalice Awards really blew me away. That was an
in-person event where we had hundreds of people come out, and we just presented awards because we wanted people to feel good. And it was a very big learning experience with everything. And I'm glad that we got to experience all of that. And, you know, a lot of people felt really happy and felt really good about getting an award and just being able to come up and, like, I don't know, talk into a microphone to an audience. Regardless of anything else, like, those people, I'm sure, felt really good.
Totally. It was a good time. I do want to talk about planting seeds for a moment, because that was kind of our main intention there. And I want to invite others that have a dream to start a podcast or start a community or start anything really. They have some sort of vision. Maybe they want to be an artist or a musician or a spiritual guide or whatever it is. It's important for you to plant that seed and to, you know, take a little bit of action on it. Or maybe like look at your life and your journey and see what kind of experiences you've had, and what you've enjoyed, what you haven't, what you felt drawn to, what has nourished your soul, and kind of call in some sort of experience or path that works for you. Because I never really expected to be doing a podcast per se, or to be running a spiritual like network of content. But growing up, I always knew I wanted to be somebody who helped spread knowledge and to spread wisdom. And I also really loved videos and video editing. I remember just hanging out in my room and editing with like Windows Movie Maker and like different audio things, and trying to like just splice things together and make
splice.
You distracted me. He's over here playing with his beard, guys. Complete distraction. Complete distraction.
That's how I focus.
He focuses by rubbing his beard all over the microphone. I hope you guys heard it.
You probably could not hear it.
I hope you guys heard it.
It was
because I was like, stop.
Stop.
Anyway, so yeah, I was like,
tell them all my secrets.
I wanted them to know why I was distracted. But yeah, growing up, I like loved editing things and just like getting content out there, getting movies out there. And I went to college and started doing graphic design and didn't like that, but didn't, you know exactly what my path was supposed to be other than creation and sharing, and edited some websites, all that fun stuff. But in photography and all of it. And I was always that kid that people were like, what are you doing with your life? And now it's so...
I'm doing all of it.
I'm doing all of it because it's so wild. Now I've created this space with you where we get to use all of those skills. And I think it's interesting because you planted all the seeds too unknowingly. You went to you briefly did some film stuff. You went to some different classes and just enough to get the knowledge you needed to really, kind of initiate the path. And it takes, the planting of those seeds and taking a look at what kind of things you enjoy spending your time on and your energy on to make a change in your reality. And then you can do rituals and little ceremonies too, and create business plans, all of that fun stuff. And it can be fun stuff.
So let's dive a little into rituals and ceremonies for planting seeds of change, because We've done both, where we've planted metaphysical seeds by writing something down on a list and planting it into the ground. And we've also planted physical actual seeds, where last year we had a garden where we planted tomatoes and cucumbers and squash and all kinds of stuff. So what's one of your more favorite ritual or ceremony for planting new seeds of change?
I definitely like to set intentions, both when I'm planting plants and things like that, and also when I'm planting manifestation seeds, metaphorical seeds, to set an intention for what the purpose was. When I started my garden last year, it was because I wanted to set the intention of growth and strength and stability, and I wanted to be able to depend on myself. And we got a lot of different variety of veggies from it. It was really cool. And I also set the intention when I'm manifesting an experience. I wanted to set the intention to help people and to create solid content. And right when I had sent that intention, I had been working with a couple of different communities and it didn't feel right. And then you appeared with Bring Me to Life, and I was like, this is perfect. I love the the pillars that are the mantra, the mission of it, and the exploration of it, the traveling aspect. And yeah, I think just intention setting and being able to daydream and really almost meditate on what it feels like to have that experience.
I like that a lot. When I went and did, Bring Me to Life, that was my first time going on a trip like that. And in my mind, I thought I was just being called to the mountains, so I didn't have much else I was, wanting or desiring. I was just kind of going to the mountains. That was it. That was the whole goal.
You didn't have an intention?
Not really. It just felt like I needed to go to the mountains for something. I didn't know what. I didn't have an intention or a plan.
But you did a ritual. Was that when you did the ritual where you kind of like released everything, or is that when you quit your jobs? There was some sort of ritual because every mission you've went on, there's been some sort of release.
Yeah. Well, that ritual came about from a panic attack that my ritual was making an igloo, building a structure, and then breaking it down. Because afterwards, me and a few others kind of just like destroyed it, and it was really fun. That was like my kind of ceremony, and through that ceremony, I realized that I needed to go to the mountains, and because I needed an adventure. Like my heart, my soul needed some kind of epic adventure. It needed it. So the Rocky Mountains were calling to me, and I guess the rest of the ceremony was creating a form of expression for that, because I created Project Bring Me to Life. I created a Facebook page for it. And I started posting pictures, telling people I was planning on going on an adventure, telling people they could come. Someone named Melissa, who I think you know, mentioned that they wanted to come, but at the last minute decided not to. So I was like going on this adventure by myself, but I was posting it onto YouTube as a way of bringing everybody together, almost like a community ritual, trying to bring everybody together. But on the second trip, I did a ceremony where I started meditating on the specific experience that I wanted. I started thinking about some event popped up on the computer while I was at work, and it really called to me, and it was like this prophecy is being fulfilled on October 21st, 2012, and like all this crazy stuff is gonna happen. And I was like, dude, that really feels like I need to be there. So I quit my jobs and I did like the meditation where I meditated, okay, I want to go and have this experience and like shift the vibration of this planet to a better one. And then after that, I want to have like a really fun adventure, and I want to have an adventure with somebody else. Like I don't want to be by myself. So I want to meet somebody who's going to have a great adventure with me. So I started meditating on that every day. That I'm going to go to this event, and then I'm going to meet someone, and we're going to have this big epic adventure. And I just kept meditating on that. And that, I guess, was kind of like a small daily ritual where I didn't have to set anything up. I just merely had to think about it and visualize it in my mind. Like that's a really powerful, simple. You don't even have to move your body ritual.
I feel like another important aspect of that too is also kind of like releasing it, like almost like visualizing it happening, feel it as if it already happens, and then kind of like release the expectation of it too. Because sometimes I'll try really hard to anticipate something, and then if I don't release it, I get frustrated with expectation. Right.
So there are certain aspects that you would like to let go of, like time, for instance. Just let go of time. If it needs to happen at a certain time, it will. If it doesn't, it's because it's not meant to be, and something better is happening. And something, so have that.
I like that. Yeah. Certain seeds, like they get planted, and not all seeds sprout at the same time, and sometimes they wait for the perfect divine time to surface.
Yeah. So when you can visualize something happening, that's basically like planting the seed, and then you let it go. of the expectation of when it's going to happen, of how it's going to happen. And you just hold on to the faith, knowing that it is going to happen. And that, I guess, knowing of faith, anytime like you think about it and you check in, oh, I don't have to worry because it's happening and I know it. That's like really positive attention, attention and energy. Where your attention goes, that energy flows. So it's really powerful when if your mind comes to that topic, flowing that energy into the faith, knowing that it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. And that will, allow it to flow in easier, because when we try to restrict something and we doubt something, then, that kind of feeds that energy as well. So, it is best if you're going to think about something, if you're going to worry about it, it's better to just not think about it at all and let it all come about.
Totally. When I released the expectation, like you said, and I just kind of quit thinking about it. Like earlier, I was doing some stuff on my website. I did a little sale release and things like that. And then I was like, well, I just need to release this and stop worrying about it. And I just grabbed my drum and I went out to the woods. And because I released the connection to it, a bunch of things happened all at once, and it was just really kind of like a portal. Like when you let go of caring if it happens, then it opens the door for it. It's kind of like letting something go and letting it come to you instead of clinging to it.
Yeah You don't have to force anything. Everything that's meant to be is going to be. And if your heart truly desires something, that's okay. And just being aware of what kind of energy you're feeding into it. Because our minds are really powerful. Hermetics talks about the law of mentalism, where, our realities are created through our minds, through our thoughts. And so they are very powerful. Mm-hmm. They're very powerful.
Yeah. Where your focus goes, your energy goes, and that's you're basically working with spirit and channeling in what you're focusing on. Today I did an insight timer. I do insight timer every Tuesday and Sunday at 12 Eastern Standard Time. And today we talked about planting seeds and also taking action, and how important it is to take action. And even if it's just daydreaming or doing one little thing, one simple step to, nourish that seed, or even just planting the seed. Sometimes we'll have a simple thought and we'll be like, oh, I wish that was in my reality, but then there's no action taken on that wish or manifestation. So you also need to take a little bit of action and effort into feeling like you deserve it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because ultimately, just being alive, we are worthy. No matter where you're at in life, you are worthy of being whole and complete, and you are worthy of planting seeds of change to become a better version of yourself. To become somebody who you can look in the mirror and just really send a lot of love to.
I love that. Yeah, it's important to send love to yourself and to all those around you. So,
Cool. Happy 420 to everybody listening in the future. Just so you know, this is when we're recording this, and we're really happy.
Yeah, I'm ready to, I think, pull some cards and just
card
relax.
Yeah.
It's been a long week, actually. I've been doing cat eye shifts and painting, and I got to... Actually, I want to talk about the seed I planted. When I was a teenager, I used to roam the streets with my friends, and we would listen to Sublime, and we were just little punk kids, and we would BS, and we would daydream about, pretending. We would literally pretend to, pass joints. We would have candy cigarettes and stuff. I don't know why. We just knew we were cool. And... This year, my little small town, my small ass little woodsy town, they were celebrating a year of having their dispensary, their medical cannabis dispensary, in our downtown, on our busiest little highway, or one of our busier highways. And it was just neat. They had a socially distanced, safe kind of little hash bash or celebration of sorts. And I got to live paint at it. Like they asked me to if they could like pay me to come paint at their event. And it was just so cool because I was a teenager and I used to talk about being an artist, and it would be so cool to just legally be able to, you know, pass a J and not care and whatever. And like, it's only medical here right now, but that is so much further than I ever thought my small ass little town would come. And to be having a live painter and musicians, and our buddy Hayden with Basecamp Coffee, he was set up, and Good Karma Catering was set up. And it was just so cool to see everybody there. And I haven't seen a lot of people because of COVID or anything. So that was the first experience I'd really gotten out. Everyone had their masks on. Everybody was being safe. They had like a drive-through pickup for people, and they were like be able to drive through and see the band and see me painting. And I sold a whole bunch of paintings, and my younger self would be so freaking proud of that seed. Finally, it took, I don't even know how many years, but there was a moment that the musicians were next to me and they were playing a Sublime song, and I was cracking up because it was like it went full circle from that daydream I had. And then one of my high school friends was there, and she got a giggle out of it too. She's like, I just want to tell you that your younger self would be so proud of you. And I was like, that just made my heart so happy. And like, just nourish the seeds that you plant, everybody, and believe that it's possible. Believe that it's possible.
Believe that it's possible. I would like to add on to that because I planted a seed on Insight Timer, and it was a song that I created for, you know, it was like a relaxation song for creativity and some healing, and it got featured on Insight Timer recently.
It's featured
yesterday, and they said that it could reach over 500,000 people.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, and I was just like so amazed by it because, you know, I've gone through a lot of healing with feeling worthy and feeling appreciated and seen for my work and for my expression. So
you recently released a book though too, and you're getting some hard copies of it. You did a digital release, and people have been loving that. You got your 3 short stories for the CeeLoverse. You guys should go check that out. The CeeLoverse
going. It is going.
Go show CeeLo some love. He's got a lot of really great content, guys. He's got good meditations. He's got a book out. Yeah. He's got some good music on Insight Timer. He goes live 3 times a week on Insight Timer. That's a lot of times. And
so many times.
Your YouTube has gotten like a new meditation almost every week for 2 years? That's a lot of content. Go show him some love, guys. If you need some more CeeLo in your life, that's a great way to get it.
Yeah, thanks. So, you know, I felt really like my younger self would be super excited about that. Like, yeah, dude, I'm reaching, you know, that's a goal I've had for a long time, is reaching millions of people with a helpful message.
And you're doing it from your 200th episode of Bring Me to Life podcast
to everybody.
Your featured Insight Timer song.
Thank you.
I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, let us know out there, anybody listening, let us know something that you have, some seed of change that you have planted and are now getting to witness the results of that.
Totally. Cool. Do you think it's time for me to share a card? And
it's time.
Awesome. So I have this card from the Language of Light deck. It's one of my favorite decks right now. And the card that I pulled is Alignment. And it says, it's a covenant of the mind, body, and spirit. Your soul is your biggest fan, and it knows the truth of you and loves you unconditionally, and it is continuously streaming this information to you. To tune into your mind, your body, your spirit, they must all agree in the now. Do this by meditating and focusing on your soul's name and enjoying something you love or having a nap. It's okay to take a nap, guys. It's not up to your soul to zap you into alignment. Its job is to maintain your soul station so that you have a frequency to tune into. The nature of physical life is to create and expand, and sometimes the life experiences will pull you out of alignment so you can understand these experiences from a different angle. When you are out of alignment, you will automatically ask questions and want to create something different. Through this process, you gain clarity about your passions, and being out of alignment can feel awful. It's easy to blame a person or a situation when we feel bad, but instead of asking why something's happening, take a breath, return to neutral, ask what you can do to create from the situation, and remember that your soul is a consistent, loving home that you can return to always. And this card comes with a little meditation about putting your hand on your heart and really setting the space for alignment. And I'm going to change it up a little, and we're going to take a second here. We're going to do a group visualization with our hands on our heart, and we're going to plant a seed. We're going to plant a seed to be in alignment with our mission, with our voice, with our visions, with our legacy. Whatever it is you want to do here, just breathe into it and take a second to just daydream about it. We started this little adventure like 7 years ago. It's grown so much since then. What is a seed that you want to plant, that you want to see just keep growing? And once you have that, you can go ahead and you can take a nice deep breath. Release any expectation of it and just kind of take a little step towards it. Whatever that step may be. Maybe it's writing it in a journal and putting a date on it. Maybe it's making a manifestation list, actually planting it. I like to plant manifestations like a seed on a little piece of paper. Go find a cool spot. Go for a little walk. And yeah, I hope that you manifest whatever it is, or you find the path that is right for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I did have something that came into my mind while we were talking, and if it's okay, I'd like to.
It's not okay, apparently. Sula's just taking out the microphone, guys, and it wasn't even his beard this time.
No, sorry. You probably definitely heard that one, though. But I just had something in pop into my mind, and it was a really cool quote, and I wanted to see if I could remember. And it was, like, talk about the episode here.
Mm-hmm.
Seeds of change can be those ideas that you water and feed with your attention and energy each day until they become your reality. I feel like that kind of like wraps up the whole what we've been talking about.
Seeds of change can be those ideas that you water and you feed with your attention and energy each day until they become your reality. That's a cool quote. I dig it.
Yeah, cool.
If you guys have any quotes that you enjoy that we say on our episodes, try to grab them for us. Send us a message. We would love to feature them and know what kind of content inspires you. We've got 200 episodes in. We hope to get 200 more and keep going. And
yeah. Thank you for being with us, and stay awake.
Shine on always.
Love ya.
Bye. For many of us, spirituality is just the quest to find essence or true meaning, and to really just connect with a higher consciousness.
Connecting with your spirituality is very important in this life. By becoming mindful of all of it, you can realize where you are and if that is leading you to where you want to go.
Listen to the little simple things, because it's those little simple things that are going to shift you vibrationally in such a way that will prepare you to become very intuitively minded and ready to step forward on the next part of your path.
I hope you can feel the love that's inside you, it's inside me, that connects us.
Thanks for shining on with us.